Hey guys, I'm Paul.
And I'm Bea.
And this is Everything is Boffo. So we've lived in Valencia now for almost 3 years, and we have toured countless friends and family that have visited us through the old city, which is El Carmen, through the Mercat Central, which is the central market, the beaches, City of Arts and Sciences, and all the other museums, especially the free ones. But we never really got to know the story behind these tourist attractions. At first, we thought that we could learn about Valencia by buying books and, going to the actual museums and diligently reading through the descriptions after the Spanish Valencian translation and then just reading the English translation. But Bea and I are visual learners, so we figured there was only one way we could learn this, and it was through a tour.
So after our first year, Paul and I decided we were not really like the best tour guides to our friends, because whenever they ask us like, how long ago was this? I don't know. Or, who built this? I have no idea. What was the purpose of this building? I have no clue. So this is a silk market. They sold silks here? Maybe. So we thought that we needed to join some tours. And because we were at Universidad Popular, they hosted sometimes free tours, sometimes paid tours, where we went outside of the city or even within the city of Valencia, and they took us through, for example, like a tour of the Turia and the historical meaning of like the things that you see around there. Unfortunately, all of the tours are in Spanish, so the little that we did understand, we don't really remember. So it kind of was like we need to, we figured we needed to do a little bit more of these tours, but in English. When we went to Rome, for example, we did a lot of the tours so that we could get into like the popular sites like the Colosseum and the Vatican, because we couldn't get tickets that didn't have any tours. And actually that made the experience a lot better as well, because we got to absorb more knowledge while going through the tour, as opposed to just seeing it and then, okay, that's it, and then going. So the next step would be for us to find a tour in English. And it just so happened on a random Facebook post, someone was looking for an English tour and Paul happened to read it.
I saw that there was this company called Culture Scout Valencia that was offering a tour. And immediately we organized a meetup to have coffee with them, and we chatted. So we discovered that here in Valencia, they host a bunch of tours, including an Architectural and Tapas Tour that they actually invited us to join.
My name's Tricia. I'm one of the co-founders of Culture Scout Valencia, tour company in Valencia, Spain. I'm an architect by trade, and architecture and design is really my passion. And for that reason, I've started a tour company here that gives architectural walking tours at the City of Arts and Sciences, followed by a rooftop tapas and wine tasting at a nearby private rooftop terrace. Valencia's architecture is amazing, from the historic architecture in the El Carmen neighborhood all the way to the modernism of the City of Arts and Sciences. Calatrava's work here is a really special space that's made Valencia an international destination for many, many people. It's put Valencia on the map architecturally and from a tourism perspective, and is just the first step out of many that's going to make Valencia a fantastic place for you to visit on your trip to Spain.
We started in the morning, we met with Tricia first, and we walked around the City of Arts and Sciences. And the first thing that strikes you when you see these structures is just like how massive they are, like how big they are in scale and how tall everything is. But what was nice also, aside from learning a little bit about the history of the buildings, are like the architectural point of view of like how these pieces were constructed and how they were built from the ground up, and how some of them have tension and suspension and all of these words where, normally you're just like, wow, this is so big and all that. But really, taking the tour with Tricia felt more like you were looking at the tinier details. So we were going up close to each building, and she was pointing out little things here and there, and like how some of the structures are actually movable. So that was also kind of interesting. Like, oh, I didn't know that opened up. So that was kind of like a nice perspective, especially for us who don't have any architectural background.
Right.
So, our friend Jeremy, who was an architect back in the States, actually visited, and then the first thing he said was like, this must be Calatrava's work, and we're like, maybe. We had no idea. So it was really nice to see, and I think it makes the buildings more impressive because of all of the physics that went into building them. So very enjoyable, and the tour took about 90 minutes, but it didn't feel that long because it's like a leisurely walk around, so you get to see a little bit of everything. And you do need to go up a flight of stairs, but if you have mobility issues, there is like an escalator right near the staircase.
I like that she is very keen into details, like especially when we were already at the site. She actually brought us closer to the beams and stuff, and she was pointing what was going on while they were doing the build. And she researches almost every day. That's what she told us. Like, she always reads up on the architectural news around the city and actually around Spain, so that she familiarizes herself with the history of it and also the terms that she needs to know about. I also like that she was answering questions on the fly. Like, we had a lot of questions, and she really enjoyed. You can see that she really enjoys what she does because she knows the answers to these questions.
And the thing that's great about taking an architectural tour with an actual architect is that you learn so much more about the projects and the buildings. It's not just dates and architects, it's about construction processes, it's tactical information, it's about historical impact, it's about current context. There's so much more to learn that the perspective of an architect can bring to a tour like this.
And a lot of the time, the research actually takes her back to old newspaper articles from way back when there was nothing built yet in the City of Arts and Sciences, to the planning and the proposal and when it was built and all of that. So you do get that historical timeline from her, as well as I guess opinions of the people at that time when things were being built.
One of the greatest ways to learn about the history of Valencia and the history of the development of the City of Arts and Sciences has been various forms of research. The local Valencian newspapers have been a tremendous source of up-to-date information, the ability to go back and look at the historical context when the campus was built, to understand what the perspectives were of the local people from here in town, from the political perspectives, from the perspectives of people who were looking at this completely outside from different Spanish cities. All of those viewpoints have contributed to a better understanding of this complex and its place in Spanish and Valencian society. Taking a tour with Culture Scout Valencia is a must-do on any visitor's list. It's a great thing to do in the beginning of your adventure here in Valencia because it'll give you the opportunity to learn all about the city and understand the geography, how to get around, and which structures are most important. It's also great to take this tour in the middle of your visit. Now that you know the lay of the land after you've been here for a few days, getting architectural detail and more information about Valencia's history will help you feel more comfortable in the city. It's also a great opportunity to experience Valencia at the end of your trip. After you've become familiar with the entire city, you know where the important parts and pieces are, this is a great way to kind of knit things together and be the highlight at the end of your trip here. So we'd love to host you to share Valencia with you.
So to cap off the tour, we headed on over to their private rooftop terrace with amazing views of the city of Valencia,
where Amanda was waiting for us with all of the good stuff that she prepared for us.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm the culinary person behind Culture Scout Valencia. And we're here on the terrace, and we have our little garden back here, a little urban garden. And the last couple of weeks, we've really been experimenting with planting some spring crops like lettuce and kale. We have some cilantro and rosemary, some chives, some tomatoes. And we're growing all of these because we'll use them for our tour and tapas events that take place on the terrace here.
I love that during our first meeting with them, Amanda told us that she has been, since this is food and this is like super vital to the culture of Valencia, that she really did her research, made sure she talked to the locals, right?
To the abuelas.
Yeah, and then, she made sure that she did taste testing and made sure that everything is as authentic as possible. I love that.
Yeah, and the food that she used are all native to Valencia or native to Spain. And she explains to us, like a school teacher, she was a former school teacher, she explains to us by demonstrating what this olive oil does versus what this olive oil does, and what does this all mean. So you also get to learn a little bit more, not just about the culture, but a little bit more about the food and the history and the background of those that are, again, native to Valencia.
We do about anywhere from 10 to 12 different plates. They're small plates, anywhere from 3 to 5 bites. And you'll experience different foods from all over Spain, whether it's oranges, almonds, olives, garbanzo beans, spinach. You'll learn a little bit about some of the core ingredients that are used here in Spain, all over Spain, and some that are pretty specific to Valencia as well. Because I don't have any Spanish blood in me, I've had to do a lot of research and talk to a lot of people, a lot of reading, a lot of watching, a lot of really getting into restaurants and hearing about how foods are being made, how they're being prepared here, doing lots of eating, lots of recipe testing. We've been here for almost a little over a year and a half now, and we are in a Spanish language school, and several of our professors in the Spanish language school are native to Valencia, and they've been a great resource to ask about fish, local produce, what's the best time of the season, time of the year to get particular fruits and vegetables in season, what to grow, flowers, succulents, fruits, vegetables, all those things. So it's been really wonderful to learn from Valencians about the food culture here.
So the tapas actually also have a wine paired with almost each of them. So you get like a really nice flavor out of like the cheese, and then you sip the wine that comes with. And they work with a local wine guy, like a guy with a wine store. Connoisseur. And he suggests, like, oh, this will go well with cheese and all of that. So we actually, I think, tasted maybe 4 or 5 different varieties of wine.
Yeah, and you knew that it was a great pairing because everyone in the tour was just like, every time they eat the food and they try the wine, everyone's just in disbelief that it's just a perfect pairing.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
Because we found one of the wines that we really liked, but on its own it was just okay. With the cheese, I think, that she served with it, it was fantastic. So I think we need to recreate that. Yeah, but it was very, very good.
We pair everything that we make with red and white wines. We also have a cava and a sherry that we start the meal, and then sherry to end the meal. But we've worked with a local distributor here in Valencia of wine to pair several different wines with each of the different courses. So you'll really get a flavor for the local wines that are here in Valencia as they pair with Spanish foods.
It was a nice day out. We were out on the patio the entire time, eating and, socializing with the rest of the tour group and learning about the different foods and wines that are being served. And if it was like bad weather, they do also have a dining room inside that you can enjoy. But I think that, thank goodness it barely rains here in Spain. So we were able to enjoy the sunshine and the views. You can actually see a little bit of the water by the marina from their rooftop. And I think that we left feeling so full.
Yeah, we were so full, but for me, there's always room for dessert, because as soon as I saw the dessert, and the others, they were so full that they couldn't eat the dessert anymore, so I just grabbed it from their plate.
Yeah, I did half.
It was just so good.
We really hope that you come out and try a tour in tapas with Culture Scout Valencia. It's a great way to get to know the city, to get to know some Spanish foods, and get to know some other people and really enjoy yourself. So come out and have a great time.
Special thanks to Tricia and Amanda of Culture Scout Valencia for hosting this unforgettable event. If you are interested in their tours and what they offer, I will put the link in the description below. It will tell them that we sent you guys to them. So clicking on that link will help us a lot.
They have tours in El Carmen. She has a running tour as well. Tricia's a runner, so you know, if you're into that, that would
You
be
want to
good.
join the running tour?
No. Walking tour is fine. Thank you so much for everyone who watches our channel, subscribes, likes, and follows us on Instagram, or on Facebook, or joins our Moving to Spain community group on Facebook.
And Spain Travel Club, and also we're on TikTok, so we're everywhere.
Thank you for those who buy us a coffee. We really appreciate it when you leave us a comment, and appreciate like all of the videos that we do. And thank you for your patience when we bust out a video, because sometimes life gets in the way. Or we're touring other people with things and saying things that we don't know.
Thanks for watching. If you want to know more about going around in Spain, you should watch this next video.
Thank you, bye.